Good afternoon. My name is Wukong Pongchan. I'm with the Texas Tiers Project. And if you didn't know, Texas Tiers is the computer system that determines eligibility for welfare benefits, SNAP, TANF, Medicaid for the citizens of Texas. I've been with Tiers for 12 plus years, going on 13 now, and it's really the only project I've been on. I actually started out my career as an entry-level Java developer with Tiers back in 2005 when I was with a consulting company that I will not name. 2 years later, when the project went back to Deloitte in 2007, I continued on as a contractor. 4 years later, 5 years later, 2012, I joined with Deloitte, AMS. 4 years later, promoted to manager, 2016. And now I'm blessed to be here today, this beautiful Friday afternoon, for Consulting Connect 2018. Given that I've been with the project for so long, I want to share with you some enlightenment that I have discovered on my journey here. That enlightenment is the topic of my talk today. I call it the 3 disciplines to success. And it just so happens these 3 disciplines correlates perfectly to today's theme: body, mind, and purpose. So let's talk about the first discipline, discipline of the body, or what I call the discipline of showing up to work early, the discipline of getting your body to get up and go. I'm not going to spend too much time about positive things about coming to work early. We've already heard all the sayings. Early bird gets the worm. Better an hour early than a minute late. If you're not first, you're last. But I do want to talk about why I chose the word discipline. You see, everything in life begins with a choice. You'll either choose to eat the apple or the chocolate. You'll either choose to get up and go for a walk or sit and do nothing. Whatever choice you make, if you keep making that choice over and over again, it eventually becomes a habit. But maintaining that habit over a long period of time, that's when it comes to discipline. You see, the difference is simple. A habit is something that you do. You can always change what you do. But a discipline is who you are. And when that thing that you do becomes who you are, you'll find it hard to change. Example of what I mean by this. See, I've been coming to work early, at least 30 minutes every day. And I haven't started doing this like a week ago, otherwise I would have stopped already. I've been coming to work early almost 5 plus years now. Every day I make a choice. I'm not going to hit that snooze button. I want to get up and go. And it's become a habit, discipline, not just who I am. See, there are days when I do question myself, and I do want to change. And I want to quit coming to work early. I want to stop. Why? Why do I do this? Nobody sees me. The office is dark, lights are off, there's no one to talk to. Why do I do this? You see, it's our basic human nature. We don't like something, we quit. But I found out over time, I didn't want to quit from the work early. I couldn't give up. See, I understand now why successful people say this. They say, don't give up, don't quit, they say. It's because they have some disciplines in their life. That's who they are. So my advice to you is, choose to be early. Get up and go. Don't let this wonderful life pass you by. Keep doing it until it becomes a habit and a discipline, until that idea is planted in your mind that you don't ever want to give up. Speaking of mind, that brings me to my second discipline, the discipline of the mind, or what I call the discipline of focus, also known as paying attention, also known as being there mentally. See, I read a quote online that says, wherever you are, be there. I'm sure it meant wherever you are, pay attention. Another personal example of how I developed this discipline, to make a long story short, it's actually a client of ours in the Tiers Project that motivated me to be more focused. You see, Tiers is agile now, but back in the days we followed waterfall methodology, and that's when we first did requirements, and then design, then we code, and then we tested. Once in a while, we will always come up with questions to the business during the testing phase because we found issues So when we met with our business client, let's call her JC for now. We had meetings with JC. JC would always tell the same thing. She would always say, "Why did you guys ask us this question during requirements?" After so many meetings and so many times she said this, I realized she was right. Because you see, I was there, but I wasn't there. My laptop was open. I was multitasking. I wasn't focused. I wasn't there to ask the question. So, from now onwards, every requirement meetings or discovery now, that's agile, I always show up with my laptop closed. I never open it unless there's an action item that I need to find answers to real quick. So, sometimes I'm so focused now that people think I'm not paying attention. I have to literally tell them, "Hey, I heard what you said. I'm processing it. I'm thinking of the question to ask." So when faced with the decision of should I multitask or do one thing at a time, I choose to do one thing at a time now. It's simple, it's basic math. In a fixed amount of time, if you're doing two things, you're only getting 50% to each task. But in the same amount of time, you're only doing one thing, you're getting 100%. You'll see that all will start moving when you do this. Give it a try. Make it your habit, make it your discipline. Focus. Okay, that brings me to my third and most important discipline, the discipline of purpose, or what I call the discipline of being positive. Law of attraction. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Positive thoughts will attract positive people in life. To maintain this choice to always be positive all the time requires what I call learning to remember a life-changing event. You gotta remember, don't forget, but remember it to let it motivate you. Everybody has one. If you haven't experienced it, you will eventually. See, this life-changing event will fall into two categories. It will be either a moment of desperation, a moment you said, "I've had it. Enough is enough. I want to change." Or it's going to be a moment of inspiration, a moment when you have that clarity. I get it. Understand. This is what I'm meant to do. So today I want to share with you that moment of inspiration that changed my life. But before I do, I also want to talk about how hard it is to stay positive in a negative world. You see, life always throws negative things at us. That's why I said you got to remember that life-changing event that motivates you. I've learned that you'll never get what you want when you're negative. Back in the days, I wanted a lot of things. Remember how I said I was an entry-level Java developer? Well, I was making an entry-level salary. I wanted a bigger salary. I wanted a promotion. I wanted a nice house with media room. I want to live in a community where my kids go to great schools. And I found that once I started being positive, law of attraction kicked in. Stuff I wanted started manifesting. I got that raise, I got that promotion, I got that nice house. And it all started with remembering that life-changing event, being positive. Simple positive habits, such as saying good morning. Good morning, great to see you. Then the guy will say, "Hey, good morning, how are you doing?" I say, "Great." Then I'm surprised. Like, why not? There's a lot of life to be thankful for. At the end of each day, I always say, "Thank you to everybody." And these positive habits came because of that one life-changing event. The moment you've been waiting for. What inspired me? You ready? My moment of inspiration is the day I joined Tears. Hold on, I know what you're thinking. What? Spoiler alert, there is a plot twist. Hang on. See, the first day on the job, when I joined Tears, they said, "Welcome to Tears. You're going to be working on EDBC." EDBC is the module that does all the of redetermination for people who either deny or approve of benefits. So my first day on the job, I opened up the tier tab. I went to inquire. It's like a search function. I entered my son's name. And there it was. My moment of clarity. I saw my son's case. Medicaid approved. I clicked on it. It says eligibility begin date, 9/15/05. His date of birth. I wondered, how did that happen? You see, back in early 2005, I was still a new college grad looking for my first job. In the meantime, I was doing temporary work at temp agencies, doing manual labor, making $10 an hour. When my wife discovered she was pregnant, we weren't sure of how we would manage. You see, we didn't have health insurance, and financially we weren't well off. So we went to Planned Parenthood, and it was Planned Parenthood that told us, why don't you apply for Medicaid? It'll pay for everything, they said. That's what we did. Went to the HHC office, submitted an application, and the worker typed in information. Little did I know that she was using tears. You're approved, she said. So what it was, Medicaid was the reason why my son was born. After he was born, at the end of September 2005, that was when I joined Tears. I think on that first day, I must have been staring at Tears all day long, looking at my son's face. I was like, wow, this is what I'm programmed. You see, I'm a spiritual person. I believe that day that there was a higher power telling me, okay, now it's your turn. Go and help others. That thought is still what motivates me to this day. So now you know why Tears inspires me. Tears saved my son's life. It's people like you all who saved my son's life. See, because it's people like you all created Tears and this thing called IE, Integrated Eligibility, that Deloitte has taken to multiple states. That's now helping so many other people, like my family. So be proud of yourselves, because I'm proud of you guys. If you haven't found your movement of inspiration yet, let today be that day. Let today be that day where if you're looking to make an impact, you realize you already made it. Let today be that day where you realize you're part of something bigger than yourself. Let today be that day where you realize you're part of something amazing. So I encourage you all to be early, be focused, be positive. I want to end with a quote that I heard from a former Deloitte CEO back in 2012. I still remember it to this day because I think it summarizes my talk pretty well. It goes a little bit like this. What you think is what you become. What you think is what you become. Guard your thoughts because they become your words. Guard your words because they become your actions. Guard your actions because they become your character. And guard your character because in the end, it will be your destiny. Stay positive, my friends. God bless.